Hello everyone, Tarsis here. So, Resonance Solstice is finally launching soon, and here are some brief information you might want to learn before getting started. First, let's talk about the launch rewards. Starting off with the embarking sign-in. You sign in for 3 days and get an SSR selector. You can choose between Suen, Connor, Nayuta, Charlotte, Ilona, Katas, Nenny, Stella, Caroline, Margilla, Verlaine, and Wensheng. There's also the per-registration rewards where you can get Laplas Protocol, which are the pools, a limited crew, which is Ganya, she's a really strong DPS despite being an SR, and a conductor outfit, which you can use for your chibi character. Next, we have the conductor level rewards, so you level up and get some pools and a couple of other resources every 10 levels. There's also the eviction quests. So you can find this quest in each city. I recommend spending your clarity or energy here early on the lowest difficulty if you just want the pulse, as it's increased the difficulty will also increase the use of clarity. I believe it was like 20 on the baseline and then 70 on the highest difficulty. Next, we have the launch recruit. Of course, like every other game or every other gacha game, we have the beginner banner. And this banner, you can guarantee your first SSR in just 20 pulls. Next, we have a conductor invitation event where you can invite friends as a referrer, and then you can obtain things like Chaos Stones and Night Chains gifts and a couple of other resources. There's also a unexpected one, which is a free monthly pass for all players. You can claim this monthly pass in the events tab once the game drops. Next, let's talk about rerolling. So we have prepared a reroll guide here in Prideven. You can check it out for the reroll process, and it takes like 15 to 20 minutes per session. We added priority picks on which SSR stand out the most, like Nayuta and Stella. They're way versatile. There's also Margilla, a great DPS that mainly revolves on generating Novas. And there's also Arena, which is a healer buffer, and she is our first limited rate up banner. As a side note, banners share the same PT for standard rate up, which we have right now for Nayuta and Charlotte, and regular standard banner. So they share the same PT, with the exception of limited and collab banners. So you keep that in mind. Next, let's talk about the combat and team building. So Resonance Solstice uses cards for combat. There are no strict order on how to use your cards, but you can be mindful about doing combos and such. Luckily, this game has a advanced auto combat configuration where you can edit which cards to prioritize and which cards to disable. Team building in this game is really neat. There's a ton of combination you can use for niche application or for more intensive combat situations. Thankfully, there's an import and export system in this game where you can just basically copy paste teams along with their auto combat configurations. With that in mind, we also prepared team presets for you to use. You have to keep in mind that you can only import these presets once you obtain the crew member first. And we have prepared a couple of teams for you to take a look and maybe reference out to create your own team. Next is using the train to move in between cities and for transporting passengers and selling goods from other city to another. So before riding the train, you can advertise with leaflets, magazine, or television to attract passengers. Passengers will vary and pay according to their occupation. And for trading, we pretty much just recommend buying low, sell high, local goods, and then sell them to the other cities. However, there's more depth into trading other than just that. There's also something like city investment. You can also haggle goods by buying or selling. There are skills you can upgrade to have a better trading experience. And there's also crafting and many more ways to tinker your trading experience. And before I forgot, you can upgrade your train obviously so you can move to cities and stations faster. There's also a quality of life items you can buy for premium, something like the auto picker drone that can let you auto pick lost cargoes in the overworld. There's also a drill that can mow down enemies since sometimes they can ambush you while riding the train. And liveries with permanent stat bonuses on your train like speed, cargo, and etc. So yeah, that's it for me in this video. Leave a like and sub if you learned something new. The game is really fun and I was spending like a couple of hours just playing it. And when I'm out of clarity or stamina, I just pretty much do trade till my fatigue fills to the brim. Anyways, links for the guides are in the description. Feel free to check them out. We also prepared a tier list for you to reference. And then again, team presets are also there for you to copy paste teams. Alright, goodbye for now.